Good Shepherd's Treatment Foster Care Program is a specialized foster care program specifically tailored to meet the needs of youth that are experiencing problematic behaviors either in the community or stepping out of a more structured placement like a residential facility. So what our program at Good Shepherd has done is it's looked into training and resources to support families to keep these youth in the community but provide them the therapeutic environment and support and treatment to be successful in the community, to form an attachment with a family, and to get all the benefits of living as part of a family.
So Treatment Foster Care is a program that we have here at Good Shepherd that works with youth in care as well as the foster parents. So for the youth, these are kiddos that have experienced some really complex trauma and it manifests itself in tougher kind of behaviors. And so we really equip the foster parents using a evidence-based and strength-based model of training. And so once a week we're in the home working with the parents on behavior modification techniques as well as meeting with the kiddos for individual therapy.
Foster parent and specifically treatment foster parents, kind of at their core, the first question is how is this going to impact my family? You know, it is a family change, it's a lifestyle change for anyone going into fostering. It's a family growth, so anytime any of our families experience growth, it changes the dynamics. So I would think at the core that's part of that. Is how's that going to change my family? And what we've heard a lot is how is Good Shepherd going to be there when things get tough? Are you going to answer the phone when you call? Are we going to respond to the needs in my home? Just having the supports and the tools is probably part of that fear as well.
I think what makes our program unique from other treatment foster care programs that are out there is that you're getting a licensed therapist that's coming into your home, building that relationship not just with you as the foster parent, but also with the kids in your home. And so we will not only be working on behavior modification techniques, but also really working with the kiddos in your home on their trauma and getting down to sort of the roots of it all. So hopefully that we can elicit some lasting change.
The support for the families includes a therapeutic family clinician. So that person is a licensed clinician with the state of Missouri, specialized in trauma and specialized in the attachment issues that we typically see with youth in foster care. They also receive support services from an education coordinator, a nursing staff, as well as the ancillary services in the community that we can connect through a case management process.
I think that treatment foster care is an important need because it is helping these kiddos being able to navigate the world in an independent way and in a healthy way by not only building these relationships between the therapist in them and the foster parent in them, but also helping them really work through their trauma so that it doesn't come up later in life with maybe their parenting or other relationships they were to have in the future. So it's really helping these kiddos be successful members of society as they were to continue to grow up.
I want people to know, first of all, in regards to the fears of what they have, is that our program is really built on supporting that family. Family clinicians are available 24/7 to that family. Myself as a clinical supervisor, we're constantly looking at that youth story and that youth experience in that home and how we can make sure the family has the tools that they need. So I want the families to know that we are there as a partner with them. The program really sees them as a crucial part of the team. They're not going to be sitting on the outskirts of what's happening day to day on those decision-making meetings or kind of the clinical processing that's going on. We really do share that with our families. So I want them to know that. I really want them to know that we have done our research and we've done our homework on trying to understand the trauma that the youth experience. We really want to be the expert to the families, so when they have questions, we can answer those questions. Again, really looking at trauma is about a story that a youth is telling us and really helping to fill in the missing pieces of that story so that we can give the youth the tools that they need to be happy and to be healthy and successful. I think probably the biggest myth is really that treatment foster care is for a family who is a social worker or a family who is a psychiatrist or somebody who has kind of walked the path of somebody with special needs. And I think more so that the reality is a treatment foster family is someone who's open to a process, that treatment is a process. So the youth will have days where they're functioning higher and they'll have days where they're really struggling. I think we want families who are open to the collaborative nature of treatment foster care. We want families that are wanting to work as part of a team. There's that old saying, it takes a village, and that's really what treatment foster care looks like. It takes the families working with the clinicians and the clinicians working with the case management system and the community resources that are out there. So I think that's probably the biggest myth, is that we're not looking for the expert family. We're looking for that family who's really wanting to do the work with us. I think treatment foster families look like every other family. They're all different. I think that's one of the advantages of treatment foster care over kind of institutional brick and mortar type of care, is that some youth are going to do better with single moms. Some youth are going to do better with co-parenting families. Some youth are really looking to have younger brothers and sisters. And so being able to have that diversity in our families is one of our strengths. So that family is going to look like the community families that we experience in our neighborhood schools and in our neighborhood churches, is that they're all going to look different. And so we welcome that diversity. We find that as one of our strengths, is that we're not looking for the the co-parenting single family with one working and one not working. We're really looking to build a family for youth that need that and that are really open. I would like for families to know what those interventions look like, because I think when we talk about interventions, people think that is a big and scary and time-consuming thing, and really it is, in the sense that it's intentional and it's specific. But when we work with youth that have experienced trauma, we are really looking for families who are paying attention to the patterns of behavior. So we teach things about tracking behavior. We teach things about having a family meeting and addressing a crisis. We really talk about when a kid is escalating and what does a crisis look like, and how do we intervene in crisis before it becomes something that could cause harm to a child or to the family. When I think about what interventions I want our families to know, is I want them to know that they are running family meetings really efficiently. It's really communicating in a way that's sensitive to the youth's experiences that they've had in their life. It's involving that youth in community activities that meet their needs. It's about identifying the strength of the youth. So we train all those interventions of how do you get to know this kid's strengths, because we can build on that. That's where we start. That's really what we go back to every night, is what did that kid do well today? Where did they struggle, and how do we start fresh the next day? So those interventions are really kind of hands-on, and they're usable for everyone. Again, you don't have to be a licensed clinician to do these communication skills really effectively. And so we talk also about interventions on how to keep families healthy in the process. So how do you do self-care? How do you take your family and kind of have relaxation built into your day? And how do we use guided relaxation and meditation in a way that really makes a youth mindful about where their strengths were for that day? The other interventions that we really look at is how do we prepare youth for the future? So we know one of our highest needs in treatment foster care and in foster care and in general is older youth, sibling groups. And so how do we prepare folks for the future that have been through the foster care system and give them the life skills that perhaps they are delayed in? And how does a mother teach these aging out youth how to cook and how to use the washing machine and how to open bank accounts? So some of it's real practical interventions like that.
From the very beginning, and prior to this I worked in a residential facility, and I really saw the need for real hands-on life skills and real hands-on work for their trauma so that they can be successful and have the tools needed to contribute to society. And so it's been really nice to be a part of something that I feel is really making those changes, the betterment of these kids' lives and the betterment of just the future of the community in general.